see them, you know, try to pick it up for Kyle instead.
Yeah.
And they give away the glue because of that.
Yeah, it has been their part of their winning recipe in game number 2. And going to the hands of Echo once again. They're not changing what's broken, but now Fredrin and Eve right off the bat picks.
I like it.
Very optimal picks here for Bren. Oh, look at the speed of the track right now.
These two teams are feeling it right now.
This is on normal speed, 24 FPS, and you're looking at the right time, ladies and gentlemen. They're not wasting any second.
Pro players count skills, OSX counts frames.
Yep.
And Echo are counting down their possibilities that they could end this quick and end it at a 3-1. The Kadita and Franco.
This is a pretty start. Ending it the way you started it.
Yeah.
Right? These are the exact picks that we saw from Echo in the first game of the series, which won them that game in a pretty convincing fashion.
Could this be a carry, though? There's an Eve. Will this be their prio pick of Bren Esports before they head in for the second phase of banning? But no.
It's a Grok. Ooh, that is something new. A Grok that will either go to flaptzy or owgwen. Still cannot turn off the possibility. But considering that he's up against the Franco, he might actually be picking up the Grok in the roam, just so that he has that controlled immunity with the power of nature charged up next to the wall.
Here on the very serious on their potential fall from the playoffs. Decisions are actually pretty good for Bren. If I think about it, it's a pretty good frontliners.
Yes.
Although, of course, these can be slowed down by Kadita, by a Franco. They can be very decisive with these frontliners. They just need a good follow-up hero, maybe a Beatrix, maybe a Melissa, someone to protect with this real-world manipulation as well.
Oh yeah, marksmen are on the ice of Bren Esports on their 4th ban. But while Echo has trimmed down that option for kyletzy to use that Fanny once again.
Yeah, and now this is why Echo drafted out the Fanny, because with their first 3, it's a very telling sign they're going to be aggressive. They're going to dive. That it might get to the point where the marksman will not have enough peel for him. Benny Cutie might just have to rely on his own instincts to survive, maximizing his dashes and escape. So Bren Esports are going to be looking into drafting something that can disrupt even more, and that's why they banned the carry. They're playing it safe. The marksman, it's right now looking like Supermarco might end up with a Melissa in his hands.
Unless Echo bans it out, which I think is a very smart move if you think about it.
Yeah.
Benny Cutie might have a better time being the more veteran player here.
Yeah, considering that there's dive, that there's ultimate, that there's rough waves, and also there's a glue. What better way to have an own shield and protection as yourself, as a Melissa? But Hayabusa, they're eyes on kyletzy's heroes now.
Yeah, they're forcing the Fredrin into the jungle because Echo are feeling that that might be an XP lane switch on that Fredrin, where the XP laner will be the Fredrin, and then it's going to be another pick in the jungle.
Get that Melissa, man. I think Bren should. I think the Melissa's a prime pick right now.
Yeah,
obviously, the Beatrix still available. I completely forgot about Beatrix for the moment.
Okay.
Still play it safe. That's a Martis.
Brody. Mincitar.
There's the Mincitar. They will try to run it back. The Mincitar gold lane.
Hook City with the Mincitar gold lane.
Focus down Supermarco and pheww. Just flicker ultimate. That is the job of Benny Cutie. But this time around, the last time, Echo played the Mincitar gold lane, they lacked damage. They paired it up with a Kagero. It takes time. Kadita doesn't need that time.
Well, they finally
she just needs to hit level 4 and that item. Maybe.
I mean, they need a pretty beefy option as well. Yeah. Or maybe some damage. I don't know.
Damage would be good. It's a Therizla.
Therizla. All right.
For minion wave clears.
Okay.
So it's a jungle Fred.
Okay, still looking good for the XP lane on flaptzy. Now, is this a good answer of Bren Esports for Echo? Because as you guys discussed, Echo is still, you wanted to still try this composition that they failed yesterday.
This is actually pretty smart, right? Because if there's a Mincitar in the area and there's a King's Calling, instead of trying to escape it, maybe just try to fight into it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a bad idea. You don't want to fight under King's Calling, but you're forced into those moments where you don't have a choice. It's better to get heroes like the Terizla. He works well under pressure, and he can maybe eke out a miracle here for Bren.
Theoretically, it could work in terms of the Mincetar gold lane this time around. This might actually be the lineup to make it work. But they're going to have to watch out for pheww. It's pheww's Eve here who'll be the X factor. His positioning, timing of the real world manipulation, and of course, if owgwen can disrupt the team fight of Echo with one stun or knockup for the wild charge. And of course, you also have to look at flaptzy. Can he handle the minion wave fast enough, clear wave, and then be more present in the map compared to Sanford's glue?
Okay, while they were leashing kyletzy, two members up top are on the hidden part of this bush. Have eyes on supermarco. They didn't want to leash in kyletzy, but they really want to have an edge here on the positioning on where supermarco could be.
Yeah, actually, look what they're doing. They actually invaded there. Yowie and benicuity taking away that Kramer from kyletzy. And they're just going through the jungle of Kyle right now and giving benicuity a little bit more farm. It's a dual gold start here for Echo.
Yeah, what a great way to start your engines early game. Amplifying two members for damage.
Yeah.
In my XP lane.
This duo from Echo on the top side is very deadly, so what Bren's trying to do is maybe we can make something happen on the bottom side of the map, which again is also a little difficult because that's a glue.
It's one game changer, one, especially in the hands of Sanford. Things could go different. Things could get nasty. But on that moment that Kyle and kyletzy had a one just to keep poking one another, looks like right now they're just about to bounce or retreat back for that pokes.
What I didn't expect here is the lack of progression here on mid. It's a little slow here on the mid for both of these teams.
Yeah.
Which normally if you see a Franco and a Kadita, the fight's always there. So right now the fight is going to be happening around the turtle area this time around, and obviously Echo, they can have zone better. They have a better zoning potential.
Yeah, look at Sanford.
They got some pretty good damage on the back foot, but again, they don't need it right now. Although Bren might be in trouble. Here's the rest of the Echo squad. The flicker in by Yowie straight into kyletzy for first blood.
flaptzy is not letting go of Sanji, and kyletzy is just aiding him for defense. Sanji, on the other hand, being trapped in three, try to swim away. Not going to go away from the hands of pheww, takes the kill.
Yeah. Sanford, flaptzy, again, we were talking about the XP leaders, the big X factors for this matchup. The start of it all. And now you saw there the team fight. Flap and Sanford. First kill there of the Terizla, stopping the recall of Sanford's glue. And Rockhard, you mentioned earlier why it seems a little bit slow in the mid. It's because Yowie's prioritizing, helping out benicuity. And in turn, because of that, owgwen is looming more around topside to make sure he can help supermarco.
Yep, it's all about upping the damage and getting the items early for benicuity. That's why owgwen as well has eyes on this lane. Could still be a ganking possibility because being all over this river, Yowie and Sanji are trying to get information even on those missing seconds that they can have, because at this point in time, ganks could happen. As you said, level 4 and 5, Sanji could just freely go around the lanes and take one at a time.
Yeah, that's
You can actually kind of feel a very fragile balance here, right? It
Yeah.
seems like a bubble is about to pop anytime. Like, it's just a matter of who's gonna make the first move here.
Yeah, the first big team fight between these two, potentially in the second turtle, will be devastating. Multiple deaths, at least 2 on each side, potentially, is what I'm looking at here.
Okay.
All right, and again, no one's getting caught by the breath of the ocean. No one's getting hooked yet. So maybe that's why, right?
Yeah.
We have to wait for those moments before anything happens for Echo. But for Bren, they are trying to play the waiting game.
Okay. Waiting for the right time to strike. Still a good discipline. With the M2 World Champs, now the second foothold is up. kyletzy and Sanford trying to pull one in. flaptzy, though, in the middle.
Oh, seems to be very happy to go and take it with a penalty zone, but kyletzy will still secure the first turtle, or second turtle rather, of the game. And we do see that Bren is starting to have second
Benny!
thoughts here. Echo, they're starting to really dominate and snowballing into this fight. And this is exactly the fight that you're looking for, Reptar.
You mentioned it, Rockhart. The bubble could burst anytime, and there it did. At least 2 deaths per team. Sanford and Yowie fell. In Bren, they lost more. And it was a late entry by Benny Cutie to the back line of Bren Esports with a King's Calling, securing a double kill for himself. That really put the exclamation point in that fight in favor of Echo.
They had a close encounters right in front of Benny Cutie. Hook will miss. They just in par on getting that lethal wanderer in. Regen, kyletzy is on with the movement, but they haven't spotted Yowie yet. Or just at a point, they're going for the laning, but this is just Yowie looking for the right time. That's Bloody Hunt connecting to kyletzy.
Oh, there it is, and that's going to be, I think, kyletzy going down again. Before he can do anything in the fight, he is taken out by by Echo rather. And it's going to be Yowie, who's on position. He's on the conceal.
Ooh.
He misses on the hook.
Sidestepped by Supermarco. Item update, Benny Cutie with a Demon Hunter sword already on this Minotaur. Looks back, Owgwen, look at the damage of the Owgwen!
Oh
Benny
boy,
Cutie.
Walking down the rock!
this is why you pick up that Minotaur gold lane. Oh my goodness.
Yowie's on the bush.
Hook
Damage
City.
by the Yowie. Hook right in.
City. And there it goes. It's a good
Owgwen.
cancel with a wild charge, but they're locked in. And there it is. That is the reason why we are looking at Minotaur gold lane for the second time in this tournament.
Oh, Sanji managed to outlast and outplay.
A regen! Passive helping him out there.
All right.
Oh, Benny, look at Benny!
Oh, that was a beautiful flicker out, but in the end, it was actually
Oh,
Few who was in
God.
trouble. And there's the counterattack as well. Coming in from both of these teams. It's a slaughterhouse here, ladies and gents, at 6 minutes in the game. We will see that Yowie is boxed in. He's got nowhere to go. kyletzy, though, he's going to be able to take him out. Sanji, will he have enough damage
No
to
ultimate.
clean it out? He does not have the rough waves.
Oh, sidestep by Owgwen!
San Duo coming in right in the turret.
Oh,
Owgwen still
Oh my
lives.
goodness.
It ain't Owgwer till it's Owgwer. Owgwen yet again surviving. Well-timed stun with a wild charge.
And that was just the second time. Look at that. Ultimate dropping into Sanford, still sustaining. kyletzy, Appraiser's Wrath. Still survived it though.
Yeah, with all of the scraps that we saw topside, Echo secured the last turtle of the game for themselves comfortably. And now Benny Cutie's in the bottom lane alone. Again, I mentioned it earlier, this is the draft to make this Minotaur gold lane work. And so far, it's working. But Bren Esports, they can counter-punish. They just really need to watch out and time for their entry because Benny Cutie, playing with his hero, doing his signature late entry play is devastating for Bren.
Oh, they need to have the good sight here on who's to catch on Echo. Meanwhile, down bottom, there could be a trade here. But no kyletzy versus kyletzy still doing it. Out in the middle.
Yep, Battle of the TC still. No assassins available. But they are actually very, very deadly still.
Okay.
Oh, they couldn't get the hook in.
No, it was
Too many
far.
hooks to watch out for here if you're Bren Esports.
Yeah, there's 2 hooks and 1 mermaid submerging into the land, and that's just burst right into your land.
Sanji, glad that he's not up against those 2 fishermen. But right now, it works very well for Echo. And that's why, again, Bren Esports are so cautious with their lineup. With how they want to play this. Counter punch will be their key. Or a surprise setup coming in from Owgwen. Set up for a nice real-world manipulation. Set up for Supermarco. Setups on setups. But is it them starting or them countering? The timing of the setups for Bren also is what to look out for. But because of this, because of the lead, because Bren knows that if they lose here, it would be devastating, Echo will rush the Lord, get it without a problem.
And there's the hook. It's going to be go time here, folks. There goes the penalty zone, but it is a huge rough waves combo here. Owgwen with the knockoff. Echo still standing strong. Owgwen might actually be in trouble. He goes down. That's the double kill for the GOAT. Make it a triple for kyletzy.
Decimated was the lineup of Bren. the young goat. 7-0-2. Again, perfect entry by Benny Cutie on the Kings calling Mincetar. And of course, Sanji with that knockup, Breath of the Ocean. 3 of them is what he got.
kyletzy being hooked in. Oh, there's so many hooks, there's so many grabs for Echo. With that point happening all over again, you need to have a good defense to hold the line. And as you said, who is going to react first? Will they overload Echo to make those mistakes happen? And that's where the time to strike back.
This game might be going way too fast. Way too fast for Bren's comfort. They want to slow this down, make it an even trade. But so far, Echo, they're actually ahead by quite a lot of gold.
8,000. Struggling is this Beatrix against the Mincetar. And if you replay, go back into the draft. Once that Mincetar was picked up by Echo, you saw the wins on the look of Supermarco. He knew how much difficulty he'd have in this game. It's as if Supermarco foresaw the future. And exactly that's what's happening. We talk about Carl Tusok. This is Benny Tusok now.
Talking about the blade being passed on to the members of Echo.
Which somehow turned into a spear.
Into the marksman of all roles, right? I mean,
With a sharp and deadly tip.
the last guy you would expect the TZ blade to go to.
Benny QTZ. Benny Q Tusok.
Is this the evolution from TZ to Cutie?
But at the end of the day, he is still the Storm King of Echo. And Bren Esports, all they can do is watch, try to get vision as the world champs are creeping closer and closer to victory. Benny Cutie has rapid boots.
No, that's crazy, man.
Imagine
He has
how
rapid
fast.
boots. This is his thing. He will just late entry time and time again. He will run, he will flicker, he will ult, and he will kill.
Classic Daddy Betty. And that is the threat now that Bren needs to see. They need to catch, they need to isolate. They might need one here to go down. Orange will go still to kyletzy.
But this might be the calm before the storm, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the big lull before the big Lord fight. And it can be a coin toss right now, but right now Echo seems to be the one who wants to take charge.
Yeah, kyletzy and pheww and Flap are the only one here could actually hold off some damage. But right now we're talking about how damage can go up against Echo.
Ouch!
Almost half.
Oh my goodness!
And Yowie is not letting him go.
That was a tank, man.
Yep,
He was doing that to a tanky boy of Bren.
yep. Oh my goodness, Bren has to run. Or Bren will try to counter. Let's see.
Now he's trying to close in with the wall.
Nice movements here from Sanford. He's going to pull back kyletzy. On the back, Supermarco is actually pretty far
man.
away.
Oh,
while
ouch,
they're
ouch,
whittling down on the HP of owgwen in
Oh.
Kyle. That might be trouble. Sanji's able to swim away before he goes down. But then again, Echo's just waiting for the Lord to get
The
into play.
ultimate of that, Kanata. Save the life of Sanji at the right moment.
Bro, this Mincetar.
Oh
It
my
hurts.
goodness, he hurts like a truck.
It's pain.
It's so much
It's a hook.
pain. Oh, there it is. That's owgwen. He goes down before he can do anything. The penalty zone goes down for Terizla. flaptzy doing as much as he can to counter the pain that is being given to them by Echo. That's not going to be enough to slow down the Echo Express.
Right now, they're still holding through their last tier turn in the mid. Who is going to be the first target here? Who is going to be the target now? It's going to be... Oh! kyletzy falls down in the hands of the GOAT. Make it 2, and that is pheww. Echo still gaining that one.
Time is ticking for Bren. Number 1 in the regular season. Here in the playoffs on the brink of
Big
elimination.
penalty zone! flaptzy tried to make a play happen, and Supermarco takes a pick. It's a 4v5. It's a 4v3 rather.
Few 10 seconds. kyletzy and Nate. Here comes Echo.
They want to go for the photo finish.
They want to go. They want to go all in. No more wasting any moment, any second. owgwen still holds the door. Still holds the base safe. Trying to clear. And they still waiting for another chance here.
Bren holding on for dear life here in the playoffs.
Echo backs off. Look at this build on this Benny Cutie. Scythe, sword, staff, roar, talker, and rapid boots.
Run for the hills if you want to, but he's gonna catch up to you for sure.
Oh, man.
His shoes has wings, it has damage, whatever you call it. Right on your screens, folks.
It's like a Greek hoplite. But I also know Mincetar is a key mythological figure in Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that Malaysia?
Could be, yeah. That's why you also have Lapu Lapu based on...
Yeah.
So this is one here since we're trying to look at the lore. But now, Echo is on 11,000 gold lead. 17-6. This is match point. World champs against world champs.
I'm gonna have to correct myself. Myanmar.
Myanmar.
There it is.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Again, over the Lord we go. Ladies and gents, I know it looks really scary on the gold lead, but this is really anyone's game here.
Not looking good for Bren Esports.
Not looking for Bren, though.
There will be... Destiny is sick for this poetic moment. If Bren Esports, in their best regular season, will get taken down by Benny Cutie's Burmese school. As Echo, Freelord, Sanji, Holy Crystal, 12,000 in gold lead. Can Bren hold again?
After winning almost every game of the regular season with a huge streak, is this how Bren will fall here?
Being the #1 team comes with a lot of weight on its shoulders, on a team's shoulders. Will they crumble here, Bren? Will Echo eliminate Bren Esports now?
It's going to be a flicker being used by Yowie. He goes straight for Flap. Cancelled out by owgwen. And Sanji takes out supermarco. That could be it. And just like that, the world champions will win and take out the top contender, Bren Esports.
From being submerged down deep from all of the losses, the kings of the world has now returned to its prime form. Echo has eliminated Bren Esports.
What could have been the fulfillment of a long-delayed promise